Jack, Sam,
Logan, hello.
I'm back.
This was too enthusiastic, Logan. This is a hateful podcast.
It's 10:30 in the morning. I have my cup of coffee.
Chicago mug. I dig that. That's cool.
From Stan's Donuts in Chicago. It's a great place. They have a mug where there is a hole through the middle of where the donut hole would be.
Like a donut?
Of the mug. It's really cool.
I
do not own that mug.
Never mind, actually. Anyway.
Anyway,
Major
I'm
season
back.
is upon us.
Yeah, and that's how you know that. That's how you know that it's the major season, is because I'm back.
Yeah, Logan makes his biannual
appearance for the major, and then I fuck off.
And we get more views than ever. Brilliant.
We get more views than ever, and more comments that I should come back, and I never do. So here's where we stand today. Is we have our tier list as per usual on what the major is going to look like. We're gonna go through the entire tier list and talk about it. And as per usual, and by usual I mean like recently, I don't know what the fuck is going on this tier list. So Sam and Jack are going to explain to me why they've placed the teams in these spots here and why my pick'ems are so fucked from what I thought I knew.
I will say, you not knowing anything is no different to Elliot being on the show. So
yeah, it's really not
have a different experience at all.
You know, it's really funny that the two of us survived doing this podcast for 3 years, just the two of us.
Mm.
Yeah, I think standards did noticeably improve when I got here. I'm just gonna say it.
And then brought back down when I joined. Anyway,
well,
shall we start?
Let's start.
All right, so let's start at the bottom with our lowest tier here, the move on tier. A tier in which we don't give a shit about these teams, and we're not going to deign to talk about them more than the 6 seconds we're going to give right now, which is Rare Atom, the Huns, and Red Canids.
What's a Canid? That's my question.
What actually is a Canid?
Is it like a fox?
Fox. Yeah.
Surely.
I'm seeing the tail, or are they just
Can we verify this before we move on?
It is a mammal of the dog family.
It's kind of doggy foxy.
It's kind of doggy foxy somewhere in there.
What a creature!
Is that what a coyote looks like? I've never seen a coyote, but not big.
No.
Okay.
But I mean, it's like the same like general
dingo, hyena, that kind of thing.
Aren't coyotes like horrible, like wiry things?
They can be. Depends like where the coyote is. Like if the coyote's in like.
If they're in the wire factory.
If they're in like rural Wyoming, then probably because there's no food.
Right. Right. Well, the teams then. If you don't have 2 of these teams in your 03 for stage 1, you are just a dickhead. Is the truth of it?
You got one of them. I'll give you that. Yeah.
I mean, okay. To be fair,
I don't know how Red Canids got to the major.
On the basis I've seen, well, I can tell you how. It's because like they've diluted the major and. Now everyone
systematically, yes.
Can we talk about that for 2 seconds? Because I opened up HLTV to do my pick'ems like 2 days ago, and I was flabbergasted at the amount of teams that are at this major. And I know that there was the same amount of teams as there were last time, but it feels like everyone and their mother is here, and there's just too many teams.
Do you know why it feels like more?
It's because there is more?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have the same feeling. I think one part of it is a knock-on effect from knowing what it's like, from now being used to stage 1 and the fact that stage 1 is terrible and really boring to watch. I think the other part is that the Americas region got itself a couple more spots. So there's just a couple of teams that you look at and it's like, oh, these teams are legitimately shit. And
it's just...
But like Red Canids are shit in South America.
Yeah. Red Canids.
They're bad domestically. Like it's not like
7th highest rated team in Brazil.
It feels like if the goal of the major is to be the pinnacle of Counter-Strike, we just should not have 32 teams. That just feels like too many pinnacle.
It's more stickers to sell, isn't it? That's why it exists, and because they can't be asked to run RMRs.
It's not like Valve run them anyway.
Well, no. And I don't understand RMRs are a bastard to run. But, like, anyway.
Well, we managed doing them, so can't be that bad.
Sure.
But yeah, sure.
Yeah, so
Should we move on?
Red Canids, not even good in South America. The Huns, they're just not good enough.
Third best Mongolian team?
Who's the second?
Well, no, they are.
Chinggis Warriors, but I don't
They
know.
are probably the second. But, like, and Rare Atom are playing with a 32-year-old assistant coach.
Oh.
Player coach, which is awesome.
No,
No?
he was gone after about a week, Jack.
Really? That's excellent.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I feel like we've spent enough time on the move.
We
on
have,
teams.
certainly.
Okay. All right, let's go to the happy to be here category. These are the teams that are, in fact, happy to be at the major. They're happy we went to 32 teams. They're psyched to get their sticker money. Let's start at on the right side with B8. Or Bait, however you want to say it.
They've just not been as good as they were. Like, they were kind of your RMR team. We're like, oh, they might win the RMR kind of thing when we had RMRs, and now they're not.
Hold on. Now that we're at actual teams that like may matter, can we start reminding those of us who may be a little bit stupider, who these teams are and who may be on these teams and what may have changed since last major?
Sure.
Because my theory here is we have a lot of viewers similar to me who pay attention at the major, and that's it. And I don't know what the fuck B8 have done in the last 6 months. So let's be more.
Would you like to get them
of
up on HLTV and read them out, Logan? You're a very efficient man.
I could do that. I could
just tell you. Basically, this is the remnants of the Ukrainian teams that no one wants. So you've got Alex 666, who's pretty good. NPL, formerly of NAVI, who's pretty good. Headtrick, formerly of NIP. Essential or Senthiel, I'm not sure really what his name is.
Yeah.
And then Kenzie Saw, who replaced Captain Kirka. He's a name you might remember from B8 from last
Captain
sort of
Kirka,
season.
the GOAT?
Yeah, so they replaced him. They're okay.
So over the course of the season, I believe it's Alex 666 has taken over the IGL reins from Nipple. His rating is fucking tanked. And B8's results recently have not been impressive. Another player who has tanked is Headtrick. He is looking dog shit in the last 3 months. I want to say it's like a 0.93 rating. It's really low for an AWPer. Really, really bad. And B8 are a team that could be out in stage 2. They could be happy to be here. Because, like, realistically, stage 1 is that poor, they probably do go through.
Okay.
But they are also that poor right now that, like, they're a team that, if this was us in stage 1, they're probably in your 4 teams that you're looking at as, like, a 3-0 candidate. Now it's like, all right, you're gonna be pushing this one fucking close, lads.
I think it's important to say as well, like, they might go through as like a 3-2 team, but that depends on like the better teams not stinking it up and going through stage 1 and 3-0.
Basically,
they don't control their own fate, is what you're talking
I'd say so, yeah. Like, they can end up in matchups that they could probably have 3 50-50 games after having 2 games that they're meant to lose, right?
Okay.
If for example, FaZe shit the bed, right, there's a chance that messes up the games further down the line. So there's a world where they make stage 2. There's a world where they go out 1-3, 2-3 probably.
All right. We'll move on to MIBR.
So
who are international now?
Yeah. This might intrigue you. So they have 2 players on loan. Klim and Kickert. Kickert, you'll obviously know quite well.
Yes.
He's like that dogshit 5th player of JAME teams that somehow has won a couple trophies despite being bad. Klim...
And a major.
That qualifies under a couple of trophies. Klim is another random, like, 12-year-old AWPer from Russia who is actually really, really good with his hands, especially when those hands are being used to look through a scoped weapon.
He has a 1-3-1 last 3 months, by the way, which is like bonkers.
Yeah. He's on loan from G2's Academy. I've been saying for a while on the podcast that in January, I think there's a good chance he is G2's AWPer. He has the potential to just get them in stage 2.
Okay.
On his own. The rest
I will
of the
say
team
also
is Exit, however you say that fucker's name, and Insani.
Insani's also a name to keep an eye on, though, right? I think he's still pretty fucking solid.
Yeah.
If Brazil didn't have the issues with buyouts and stuff, he'd probably be on FURIA, I would say, before FURIA did the things they've done.
Yeah.
If Brazil didn't have the issues with buyouts, FURIA wouldn't be as good as they are now.
What's the... Is there a very quick backstory to why Safe is no longer the AWPer for this team?
He's not very good.
Okay, that's a good backstory enough.
And you can get a 20-year-old on loan who's going to be good, and you don't have to do much about it, really. So, yeah.
Don't need to say any more than that.
No.
MIBR, they've been pretty decent since getting Klim and Kicker. They've won a couple of shit tier events. They've won at least one.
Okay.
Okay, they won 3 shit tier events in a row.
So bad.
But when they've gone international, their results haven't exactly been great.
Yes.
So again, they're still just... They're happy that South America has so many spots.
They've been good domestically, but they haven't been able to make it work internationally. And you don't...
Yeah,
and neither of you really expect them to start to making it work internationally today.
No, this is all just like a continued advert for Klim's own ability and nothing else.
Yeah.
And
all right.
Insani's
He's in the shop window,
career
isn't he?
dying.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
GamerLegion.
Not the GamerLegion of old. Not the team where I think everyone kind of rates them. Things have gone quite wrong since Kirsty joined and now being replaced by Hypex.
What is going wrong? Because I, knowing nothing, right, I did my pick'ems, and my pick'ems included GamerLegion going on further, right? I had originally put them 3-0. I've been now told that's a poor decision. But, like, what went wrong between the last major where we were basically saying, like, oh, this could be a playoff team or just outside the playoffs into, great, we're so happy we're here, even though it seems like they still have the same core that they had before.
They just can't get impact out of an AWPer. So we were speaking on the podcast this week about how when you're a certain degree of team, I was basically saying that in tier 2, an AWPer, a like truly stellar AWPer, and having an AWPer that can be impactful like most games is more important than tier 1.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna use this section to explain my point further. Right. There is tier 2 where you get flashbang less, you get mollied less, and if you have this kind of stellar AWPer, this thing of like that Nikados has kind of positioned him as himself as in the past few years, you will go up the ranking because that player will get you up the ranking themselves. Then when you get to tier 1, the best teams still have good AWPers because they're what separates them from the other teams.
But it's not the reason they're generally winning.
Yeah. I mean, like, in Furia's case, maybe it is. I think, that will probably be... I think MongolZ will end up being a meta-defining player.
But generally...
But generally,
generalizationing here is that the reason you win in tier 2 is because your AWPer is better.
Well,
whereas tier 1, there's so much more.
I think it's just the difference an AWPer makes is more noticeable.
But so
at that lower tiers.
So the point I want to further,
or less at higher tiers,
If you look at the playoffs filler content and the out in stage 3 rows, every one of these teams, there's a couple who are underperformers, which is what I'll lead to. Pretty much every one of these teams has an AWPer that is around the similar level.
Okay.
Like, literally, like,
I'll believe you for now. Well, obviously we'll have more conversations, but I'll believe you for now.
They're all around similar ratings. They all have similar output. Then there's GamerLegion and another team, which we'll talk about in a bit, I'm sure, who actually just have bad AWPers. And this is the thing that you can't have a bad AWPer. AWPers matter less, but when you have a bad AWPer, you're losing that
even
big
worse
of a percentage from your game. So in the month since Austin, I can't remember when the fuck they signed Kersey, because the fact that he was on a tier 1 team feels like a fucking fever dream still, because he is that bad.
They signed him
He's
in
not.
July.
He's not Lumi, but
Okay, they signed him after Austin. He's not Loomy, but he's fucking close.
you got to be bad to be signed after a major and not make it to the next major.
Yeah, he
Like
did
that,
not
they don't
last
even give you a
long.
chance. That's not great.
Yeah.
So after that, they signed a guy called Hypex from BetClick Apogee, and he is
Was he
also not being good.
Okay. I thought that was Hyper from Big Academy.
No,
From former
no.
Big,
No,
not
but
the
he's
same guy.
also not good.
Okay.
Same
And I
caliber.
believe-
as-
So
as
anyone that
Bum
starts with
Alpha.
hype is just not good right now, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. So Hypex, just like Jacob, who went to FaZe from the same team, has not hit the ground running. And I also just think that potentially GamerLegion, because of Kersey and because of Hypex at this point, are kind of just struggling from confidence issues because they can't win a fucking game.
Okay.
You're seeing less out of PR, less out of Res, more out of Towson, which suggests that in response to having bad AWPers, they've also changed their system, because Towson was not a good player. Like, not to be getting as much out of him as he is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that... I just don't think they're in a good place as a team. I think after this major, they might make some considerable changes, and Ash might finally be looking to get his move up the ladder before his reputation dies. Because at this point, Slend was okay for a while, but then dropped off. Kersey, terrible. Hypex, not looking good. At this point,
They had
there's
Acol
gonna
for
have
the
to be
major,
some
right?
questions.
I think
Maybe.
I think
Maybe
Acol was
not.
standing in again because he stood in for
think so.
Dallas, and they were
Um,
like better with him. So
Yeah, so we're at a point now where, like, some questions either need to be asked of ZTR and Ash about their ability to have an AWPer in their system.
to utilize
Because-
an AWPer, yeah.
Because some IGLs can't, right? Like, Dexter always kills AWPers.
Yep.
MSL couldn't deal with an AWPer. And
whoa,
maybe...
whoa. When
Unless he was the
an
AWPer.
AWPer.
Yeah,
I was
unless
gonna say,
he
when
was
he
the
was an
AWPer.
AWPer. Different story.
So maybe it's that. I don't know. But yeah, GamerLegion not in a great place. They probably do make it to stage 2. But on their current form, like if the
They're
major
just-
was 2 months later, they ain't qualifying.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Lynn Vision is our next team on the list.
Or a
So
team.
I have some questions here because Lynn Vision last time we watched the major almost made the playoffs off of what seemed like more of a miracle run than I think most people would have expected. And
Yeah.
my assumption based on them being in this position is they haven't really improved on that miracle run, right? That they haven't like taken the things kind of to heart and improved based on that. They just went back to their original form.
Put it this way,
Yeah.
they're losing to Ray Ratham right now,
Yes, I see that.
and
Oh,
Ray Ratham
excellent.
are in the move on to you. So
Okay.
maybe there's some adjustments needed. I'm not sure. They're a team of okay players with funny names. There's no one really who stands out on that team.
Zaka. Zaka's pretty good. Zaka is a better
Sure.
AWPer than G. G is just a better team player.
Yeah, I mean, Star is also like reasonable. He's been worse lately, but the rest of the team are kind of three
I'm sorry,
players
hold on.
don't have a positive rating in the last 3 months. So
This is an unrelated bit, but Westmelon has been on Lynn Vision for 8 years and 5 months.
it's a long time.
It's quite
That is a
impressive.
really long time. And Zachar has been on this team for 6 years and 3 months.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. I like Lynn
A lot
Vision.
of respect. Please continue. Sorry.
I think going back to Austin, right? I think a lot of teams were worse during Austin.
Yeah.
I think the level of competition in the last 6 months has improved so much. Like, you know, I think like from top to bottom, I think FURIA are as much favourites as Vitality were for Austin.
Yeah.
But the last time we did this, we had could upset Vitality. This time we have potential of a winners. I changed the wording of that for a reason.
It just feels like the top is a little bit more close, is what you're getting at here?
Yeah.
I think we could save it for then, yeah. But I think the difference was, like, Austin was Vitality's major to lose, right? Whereas
This is
FURIA kind
Furious
of
to
have to
win.
try to win, right?
Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
I think that's the nicest way to sum it up.
Playoffs filler content, there's a team like fucking Legacy in it, and they're there on merit, right? Like, they're not there because we think other people are bad. Like, they are there on merit. Out in stage 3, there's a number of teams there who are relatively strong.
We'll get to all those teams.
Yeah.
Your
So,
point
like,
here is that there are teams who actually have merit of being very good at this major, whereas in the last major there were tons of stand-ins and stuff, and it felt like Lynn Vision just kind of had their shit together at the right time.
Well, that, and it's just, when there's this many teams, how many teams can you prepare for? And when there's an Asian team in stage 1,
You're not watching those demos, exactly.
If you're a European team higher up the ladder, are you watching their demos? Do you really view them as a threat historically? And also, Lynn Vision were really good at, like, 2 maps. If I remember right, it was Nuke.
And we also have to remember there were lots of BO1s. I mean, there will be BO1s now as well. But then,
was it Nuke and Train or Nuke and
I feel
Inferno
like
they were really good at?
Inferno they were really good on.
Yeah, they were good at 2 maps, right? They had a fucking 2-map map pool. That can get you through a major. Because if you pick the right maps, you will play those maps.
Mm-hmm.
And it's part of why the major's actually shit and bad. However, we've now seen more of them in the 6 months since, and they're just not very good. And they lack the overall team play and firepower of TYLOO.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move. We're spending a lot of time in the happy to be here tier. I want to get moving to the more important tiers. So Fnatic,
Fly through the teams with Fs. Fuck Fnatic, and that's it.
Fuck Fnatic. The only context you're getting about Fnatic is that they pissed off everyone by removing Cypher.
They removed Cypher, right? And they brought someone else back in.
After Cypher crushed at Fragadelphia, where Fnatic pulled off a great qualification, they brought in Chikazmo, who is like old
Not
Passion
better.
UA with Fear and Jambo, and has fucked the role balance of the team. Is not a better player in the slightest, and
they pissed
I
everyone
think
off.
everyone hopes they suffer for it.
Huge. I'm here for it. Fuck Fnatic.
Also, free blame F, but that's regardless.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Free blame F.
Yeah, we like him
he
again now.
crushes on this team.
He's fine again. We don't hate.
We've gone full circle on blame
I've
F now?
always,
Yeah.
I've always liked blame F because I'm not a smooth brain.
FlyQuest looks exactly the same as I had expected it to look.
Has JKS joined the team since you were last here?
And they've not really gotten better.
Okay, to be fair, I did know that JKS joined this team, and I also knew that Azure was moved to coach.
So here's the interesting thing with FlyQuest. Right, back in Austin, they brought in Netic, and Netic looked hot shit. Since JKS has come in, they've moved around Netic's roles, and now Netic just looks shit. So where JKS should have come
JKS
in...
is not as good as he was on G2
at
all.
And I'm not going to claim to watch FlyQuest matches because I have sanity.
You don't.
Still.
Yeah.
If JKS came in and took star roles, JKS completely missed the point of going back to FlyQuest. JKS should have gone back and just been Liaz but good. And if that team doesn't realise that, they're never going to be good. That's all I have to say
that
about
hat removal
Australians.
was very smooth, Logan. That was
It
very
was.
good.
Thank you. It was annoying my
good.
ear. Okay.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah.
And then Fluxo. I've
Wow,
got a
they are
cool,
happy to be here.
comparison for Fluxo.
Oh, God.
This is
They're
the art
basically
project, right?
Yes, so remember old Furia, the first Furia, with Art and Vinny.
With Art and Vinny and Henny.
Abel,
and
Jay.
Yeah. It's that team again, and Art has not changed how he plays at all.
Awesome.
So they were fun and they would maybe win a map. They're them again now.
Okay.
What I will say about Fluxo, the best thing to say about Fluxo going into this major is that they're in the happy to be here category, not the move on category. because the other teams
they'll
are that
take
bad.
wins off that.
The other teams are that bad that they will win a game. When they play one of them, they will win. That will be as good as their major will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our next tier is called NA OMEGALUL, and before anyone says anything, I was the one that suggested this tier. This was not either of the British folks here. Because even though I have been out of Counter-Strike, I know that North America is fucking terrible at Counter-Strike. And we had to get rid of the Brazil tier. So
I'm gonna make a hot take though. I actually have 2 of those 3 teams going through.
all right, well, let's talk about it then. We'll start on the right side of the list with M80.
Yeah,
My assumption is this is one of the 2 teams you have going through.
that would be correct. I think M80, and I'm going to put this down to Def. Just
Hold on,
because
before you go, the big move that they made was they added Hexed instead of Rec in the middle of in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
I know we have a lot of North American viewership, so I just want to clarify this thing.
I put it all down to Def being the best coach, and also, obviously bringing in some British swagger to American, horrible Counter-Strike. They're better than some of their parts, I would say. They just generally outperform what we expect them to do. Some's doing a stinky face, so maybe he disagrees. They're not great, but they should get through this stage. I have them as a 3-2 team.
It just depends what M80 turns up, man. Like,
yeah,
I really like Def, so I hope it's the good M80. For those of
they
you
did
that
they
don't
did
watch,
make Blast London playoffs.
That's what I was going to say. For those of you that don't watch the too many tournaments that we have now, M80 did make the playoffs of Blast Open London, which looked great. It looked like they might be becoming the first M80 that we saw again back when MOUZ was on there. But it wasn't sustainable. Lake as a star probably takes, as the actual star of the team, probably takes too many opening duels. So too much is based on his success. Hexed was winning way too many clutches for it to be sustainable, and that showed in their results since. If that M80
Swish has
up,
been playing well lately as well, which is out of character.
I mean, that's a big thing for them.
If that M80 turns up, they fly through the stage. They could even free out the stage. If that M80 doesn't turn up, don't be surprised if they go out.
Yep. Passion UA? Passion NA?
UA, which is a North American team.
They are not my team I have going through, just so we're clear.
They actually are technically considered an other team, but I think we all consider them a North American team.
So I believe it's because of...
JT is South African, but his residency is
But there's a
North
reason
American
they can qualify for the NARMR, right? NA.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because there's no RMR that South Africa fits into, so you can...
So I think you go to the
other.
strongest, you should go to the hardest region or something like that.
Yeah, which would put them in Europe.
No, I think it's the
don't really
hardest
know
region
who
of the
it is.
majority of the rest of your teammates, which...
They have a
whatever.
Ukrainian and a Norwegian.
Well, I think JT's lived in America so long that he's...
I don't know how
It doesn't really matter, but this is one of those American teams that is called Passion UA, which is a whole thing for Ukraine, which is a whole separate matter. But it's just weird that it's a North American team. We can continue.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Complexity moved to Passion UA. On the way, they kicked fucking Sixy, however you say his fucking name, and they kept them after dumping the entire Ukrainian roster other than him. TC is their coach, which explains why they went over, but there is an interesting thing because they had booted TC from Complexity, which is how he ended up on Ukrainian Passion UA. Passion UA recently played Blast Rivals Hong Kong, and by recently I mean last week. They beat the MongolZ and then actually looked quite solid against Falcons, although I will say that in that series, for some reason, Nico just couldn't kill Nyx. They ended the series something like 19-3 against each other.
Oh boy!
Proper antidote gaming.
Just really funny.
Okay.
So they looked quite good. Then they got to the playoffs and they got absolutely spanked by Pain. They are still Complexity. They just have one better player. They start in stage 2. I would expect them to go out in stage 2.
Okay. Jack, I assume this is one of the 2 teams that you have in your pick'ems?
Well, it has to be because they're the only 2 in stage 1.
Yeah.
It's NRG. I think they're They're doing good. I think Bro is probably not doing as good as he should be doing in North America, if we're being entirely honest, right? Nitro just seems to be able to keep doing it, and George is really good. I'm not big on Exotic. I actually don't think he's particularly exciting and or interesting.
How old is Exotic? He's younger than
he's 24. But like this guy's been around as like
I remember
again,
on
I'm not,
Chaos. Like
this guy
he's
was
been
like a
around for fucking
crazy like land dodger in NA. Like nobody knew what he looked like and stuff. Like never went to frag, never went to any of the lands.
They announced him with a picture of a fucking chair.
Yeah, which is kind of hilarious actually.
good bit.
They're
George
fine.
been good?
Reasonably so, yeah. He's still at 113 past 3 months. Obviously, kind of,
You literally
insulated
cannot trust
competition.
any of these ratings, by the way.
Yeah, precisely. 'cause
Here's
they're all
what's-
very
here's
insulated.
what's gonna
I know.
happen.
Wait, they switched to HLTV3. So like, what's our why can't we trust ratings? Wouldn't we be able to trust?
It's not the
You can never-
HLD3, it's just that
You
they're
can never
insulated,
trust
right?
ratings for
Oh, yeah,
NA players.
okay.
Here's what's going to happen with NRG.
NA specifically. I thought this was a rating conversation,
Right.
not a.
Here's what's going to happen with NRG, Jack, because you're falling into the trap that so many fucking people do, right?
Again, they're 3-2 from the simulator. This is only what the computer says. The good to be
Yeah,
computer
yeah.
says.
This is
Yeah,
only
yeah.
what the computer says.
Yeah, yeah.
Famously, the computer's never been wrong.
Here's the thing, Jack. You think that is good supercomputer. That is bad
It's evil.
supercomputer. It's evil supercomputer.
Russian
NRG
barbarian
play
princess.
in North America. M80
That's
at
true.
least play in Europe a lot of the time, right? NRG play in fucking North America. That makes you so bad. It makes you so fucking appalling at the game because you cannot hope to be at a similar level to these European teams. You cannot get efficient practice. So when you go and you play these international events, you fucking suck. So I don't know who you have them beating.
I mean, let's put it this way: in the one international event they played, which was Pro League recently, which was like a month and a half ago, they went out in last place.
yes,
Fine.
Jack.
In my simulator, they lose to NIP in the opener. They beat FlyQuest in the following, and then I can't remember the rest. But somehow I had them going through. And like I said, I'm trusting the super.
There is, unless they play the Huns, Red Canids, and fucking Rare Atom, there are not 3 teams in this that they can be.
You think FlyQuest beat them?
Probably. They at least
Think it'd
play
be a
in
horrible
Europe a lot more. Oh yeah, it's a fucking miserable game. I hope that one doesn't happen. Who the fuck do FlyQuest play in their first round? Can they win that, please? I don't fucking want to. I don't want to have to watch this.
FlyQuest play Legacy, so probably not.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking why does Brazil have to be fucking good? Yeah, the NRG are not going through. They're just
Okay.
not. It's more disappointment for NA.
Here's the thing: as an NA fan, I'm just always disappointed. This isn't anything there.
Is that from all the school shootings?
That's definitely part of it, brother. That's
Okay.
definitely part
Yeah,
of it.
Cool. Just checking.
I could
Okay,
go on
Sam.
a whole
Okay.
tirade, but I feel like this is not the time and place for it.
I think we should talk about this
Fuck
teams
the
that go out
major.
stage 2.
Go, Logan. Give me a shtick. Give me a spiel.
Oh God, no!
That's the Patreon exclusive episode.
I don't think you.
There
I don't
was
think you
like a
understand how,
small
like,
percentage of you then that was about to do it.
I don't think you understand how like psychopathically, like progressive my North American political views are, and I would. There would be some statements I would say there would be people, stuff. Okay, let's move on. Out in stage 2, 3D Max. I'm pretty sure you guys only put them here because they were invited directly to stage 2.
So here's the thing. 3D
There's a
Max,
world they go through, I think, but not much
3D
further.
Max could be out in stage 3. They could even be playoffs filler content.
We just don't know who's going to show up.
They've just had a bad couple of results, and I will say that is because they gave themselves some horrible travel. Like in the space of, I think they were having a day between events, right? They did like Pro League Season 22, then they flew to China for CAC, then they flew to Bucharest for PGL, and then they flew back to China for Chengdu, and that caught up to them. They finished second in CAC, and then they had horrid results in Bucharest
but now
and in Chengdu.
Now they've got 2 weeks after Chengdu's over.
So now they have a break, right?
I'm just saying quickly on your travel topic. I've seen the media day photos for 3D Max from Chengdu. Body's eyes are hanging out of his skull. He looks like Gollum. He looks fucked up. And no disrespect to him, but he looks really unwell in that photo. So, yeah.
So
Anyway.
yeah, realistically, we've probably put them one too far down. But also they're French.
On God.
And also since last major, Gravity has taken over in-game leading.
Gravy
Okay.
Tea, otherwise known as Bovril.
Yeah.
Bovril, can you sponsor us, please? I really
I'd
enjoy
fuck
your
with that
products.
heavily. And this is concerning because he was not doing good mechanically, right? Statistically, he was not getting any kills, and I think they just liked they liked the team they're playing with. So Maka gave up the role to him, and Maka's been very good, even better since then, honestly. But Gravity's not good. He's not a great in-game leader, and he's not good with his hands.
No,
either, so.
no, I don't think it's fair to say he's not a great in-game leader. I don't think that's fair. They had good results when he took over. It's just they did this travel thing. So I'm going to say Logan. Let's
Yes.
make an adjustment. Let's bump him up.
We'll bump them up.
Wow.
Let's bump him up.
Well, we'll bump them up in the final tier list. I'm going to leave them here for now, but we'll bump them up in the final tier
But then
list.
I'm going to forget that I said that.
Yeah,
Just
but
move-
we're going to
move-
then look
I'm
at
not being nice
3D
to French
Max and
people
keep-
twice, Logan.
Okay, fine. We'll bump them up. Okay.
Cool.
Let's move on then to PARIVISION,
Yeah.
which I have been
Jame time.
reminded is the Jame plus Friends team.
Yeah,
Jamin Belchanok, which is a fucking sick name.
Belchanok is incredible.
Not
name.
going through anyone else's names because I just don't fucking care. There's some
Yeah,
Russian
yeah.
players. They are like actual NPCs in a Jame team.
I mean, this is what Jame is known for, right? Like, it's taking
Yeah.
Jame plus 4 other players who will do Jame's bidding, and Jame just plays fucking StarCraft.
Yeah, that will get them through stage 1.
Mm-hmm.
They will get through stage 1 as a 3-0 or a 3-1 team.
Is PARIVISION becoming? We used to talk about Virtus Pro. We used to talk about Big as the team that, like, if you were a good team, you would always beat Big, and then it was like, if you're an excellent team, you will always beat the old Virtus Pro and the James system.
No,
I
Are
think
we
they're worse
getting-
than that.
They're worse
they are
than- okay.
definitely worse.
And
than
I
that. They don't.
and I
have
like
players
them.
for
I
that.
think they're a pretty good team, but they're just not enough events to
But
warrant that
they're not.
title.
They're not what they were. They're not like what we used to think of that Virtus Pro as. It's
No.
like the Belmark.
They're
team.
more like
Ask us again in 6 months.
Okay.
yeah.
Let's
Okay.
see where they are in 6 months because they just don't play enough events for that.
Mhm. They did have a very good online season though in the last sort of 6-12 months. They've been very good.
But they play like old VP, but a little bit better. Like in a way that.
Well, I
makes
expect
them-
they play like old VP. James is still the IGL of this team. Like,
Mhm.
And he has a ridiculous amount of clutches in the past 6 months or year.
oh, yeah,
One of them.
James just plays StarCraft.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
They're good. Probably not good enough. They probably don't have the firepower.
When
But they will look
unrelatedly,
better than old VP.
when James eventually stops being a player and is just like looking for coach, he will be an incredibly good coach.
He
I
actually
think
probably
so.
will be where Carrigan won't.
Yeah. Don't piss me off.
Because
He will
the
be.
James system with 5 players that James can actually play StarCraft on, and he doesn't have to worry about actually playing the game, sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. TYLOO, the
Love 'em.
highest ranked Chinese team here.
Really love them. My God, they
Yeah.
fucking annoy me. Like, they really annoy me. Because they,
Whenever
like,
I have faith, they just shit the bed.
they fucking throw some rounds away, man. Like, Blast Hong Kong, they should have beaten Vitality. They then lost to Pain, and again, they were losing some absurdly bad round. There was this one clutch on Overpass that Snow won for Pain. He was on the T side, and he's Dice on the A side. There was Jamyoung, and I want to say Mercury or
I
Mosaic
think so.
was Green Bin. Jamyoung was Truck. Jamyoung, for some fucking reason, just jumps up on the truck. Doesn't need to. Snow hasn't planted. Nothing. He could be moving round. Fine. But Jamyoung can cover both sides. And Mercury or Mosaic is in a position to trade. Jamyoung just jumps up, dies, And the other dickhead's like, right, well, I guess I'll just push for dies.
I mean, can we quickly go over the fact that they've played 15 events since August, and of those 15 events, 15 matches since August, they have won 4 matches, one against Lynn Vision, one against B8, one against GamerLegion, and one triple overtime against Fluxo, best of 1.
They won Fisher Playground 1. They looked fucking great doing it. They have done nothing
They
since.
stunk
They
in
still
Cologne.
don't have a great map pool. Their play style is fucking
Let's put this. They
bad.
lost to Liquid in Fisher Playground 2, and I know Liquid is a bad team.
Well, we'll get to them in a bit.
We'll get to them in a bit, but like, I'm convinced.
That pain game was just so bad. Like, G couldn't hit a fucking shot. They're just frustrating. I can't see them making me happy. If they win, they will make me happy. I can't see it happening. I would say regardless.
I'd
of
bet
who
on them
goes
if I
through
was playing
stage
with
one.
house money.
If I was playing with house money, I'd bet.
Regardless
That's
of who
it.
goes through stage 1, TYLOO will be an okay pick for 0-3 in stage 2.
Okay.
They will probably go 1-3, but they're an okay pick for 0-3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One last team that we'll talk about, and then we'll take a mid-tier break. We have Imperial, which I know that's not the Imperial logo.
It is
Which
now.
annoys me. That annoys me.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to Gamdom.
That's so dumb. This is the Vinny project, right?
Yeah, so it's Vinny.
Call it that, yeah.
I'm going to do this off the top of my head. This is going to be great. It's
I'm
Vinny,
looking at it, so I'll tell you.
Skulls,
Yeah.
Fry,
Yeah.
No Way was the one that stayed,
Yeah.
and Cello.
Yes.
You know your shit, man. Yeah.
Come on, I'm so fucking Counter-Strike.
I'm so Counter-Strike.
I really
Cello's
like Vinny
good.
and I really like Vinny and Zach. I think Vinny's a decent IGL, and they're both just like lovely people who I want to see succeed. Imperial at points have not been good, but Try is very good. Cello, they're getting the best out of Cello again, which Furia did not do. Cello
Struggled
is
to. Yeah.
a good player. No Way is solid enough. Skulls is shit. Unfortunately, he could be the one that lets them down in this event. But I have Imperial going through 3-2, I think, from stage 1. I just think
You've
they've
got
got
more
enough
faith
in
than
them
me.
to do it. Yeah, I just think they've got enough in them to do it. Like, you know what I said about NRG and that there's not 3 teams they can beat along the way? Imperial, there are 3 teams they can beat along the way. They will go out in stage 2, 100%. They don't fucking stand a chance past that.
But they'll make it to stage 2, is kind of where you're going with this.
I'm quite confident they will make it to stage 2.
I won't be upset if they do, right? Like, I don't have them going through, just for transparency, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I just
It wouldn't
don't have a
be
lot of
out of
confidence in them.
character here.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. You know, that the inverse of Red Canids in the way that they're actually good domestically as well. Like, they're very strong at home and reasonable internationally. So, it's a good pick. Not one that I have, but I can totally see why you'd have them, son.
Yeah.
All right, we are officially halfway through our list.
Fucking ad
we're-
break.
Yeah, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Well, for you, 1 ad time, but we'll be back in a couple minutes.
So, Jack, do you find it hard to keep up with all the news in Counter-Strike?
I do. I took a weekend off and I came back to 6 new IGLs, 3 retirements, and apparently Navi's Waterboy got picked up by a top 20 team.
Right? That's why I've been relying on the TLDR newsletter. It's a bi-weekly email that keeps you up to speed on everything in the CS scene, without needing to scroll Reddit for 3 hours while questioning your life choices.
Yeah, it's like if HLTV had a baby with your funniest friend who actually watches every game. You get quick hits of news, spicy roster moves, upcoming match schedules, and even some insider gossip. All killer, no filler.
And let's be honest, some of these tournament formats, you need a guide just to figure out who's playing who. TLDR breaks it all down, so you actually know what the hell's going on.
Plus, it's funny. Like, actually funny. It's like reading a group chat between smart CS fans who roast everything in sight, but still care deeply about the game.
So if your brain's full, but your heart still beats for Counter-Strike, do yourself a favour. Sign up for the TLDR newsletter. It's free, fast, and guaranteed to make you smarter. Or at least sound smarter in Twitch chat.
Check out the link down below and subscribe, because the only thing more tragic than missing a major upset is not even knowing it happened.
TLDR, you don't have time to read everything, but you still want to sound like you did.
All right, welcome back after that beautiful ad break. Thank you. Let's move on to our out in stage 3 teams. I will tell everyone that some of these teams are only out in stage 3 because they only start in stage 3. And they cannot be out sooner than stage 3. So we'll start with Aurora, which is the former Eternal Fire team that got brought out by Aurora. Was that pre the last major?
I think so.
Was it just
Yeah.
after?
Yeah. No, it was just before, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so they haven't made a change. Mainly
They've gotten a lot worse.
Mainly because they just can't make a change. There really is no one they can get.
Well, there is, but
Well, it's X-Flow, who is like sideways move, maybe marginally better than Jota. So like higher peak, lower floor, whatever. Here's the thing with Aurora. You know how like 15 minutes ago, maybe 20 at this point, I was saying how just the entire scene has gotten stronger.
Yeah.
Aurora have suffered because of that. They have also suffered because Anubis went out of the map pool. It was their best map by far. And they haven't
only
played,
map, really.
Fuck that map. Fucking dog shit, terrible map. Yeah, Aurora have not looked good for a while. They have now finally won an event. But that event was, like, it was a shit
Bad.
event.
It was bad,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, I just don't think any of us are high on Aurora anymore.
I've been a bit of a hater for the last few months as well. I just think they were very highly overrated in the actual rankings. I think they were very unfairly ranked, and I think Sam, you've summed it up right. Now that everyone else is good again, they're really
they were profiteers.
Yes,
They
Very good,
were
good word
profiteers.
choice.
And
So they're only in this tier because they have a direct stage 3 invite, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to note
no,
those
they
specifically.
they have a stage 2 invite,
Okay.
but they're
so
good
you're
enough.
saying they
They're
will
good
go through
enough to
stage
get
2.
out of stage 2. I'm not saying they're terrible. It's
Okay.
just that there was a point this year where people are like, "Oh, maybe they're top 5." They're not. They are not
Okay.
top 5. They are on the bottom end of the top 10.
Okay.
And if a couple of the teams got even slightly stronger, they wouldn't even be that.
Okay. So let's move on to Pain. I remember Pain was quite good in the last major, and
Yes.
now we're saying they're less good than they were in the last major.
So
Please inform me.
Pain have not won many games at all since the last major. It's really not been good for them. They've got the exact same team. They just overperformed in Austin. And I think Elliot is right about Pain. Every time Pain makes you think that they're leveling up, they just disappoint you again. And that's all I'm going to say about them.
So Pain kind of fall into the same boat as Lynn Vision, which is like we thought they had leveled up in Austin. We thought they had done something really cool, and they were going to be better, and then they just have not shown any amount of that. Since that
I
point.
think Pain were more deserving of that because they actually were better. Like, I think Lynn Vision had a good event.
Yeah.
Pain have been generally better.
Okay.
They had an okay run in Hong Kong as well. But that's the extent of the performance, really.
Yeah, I think it's disrespectful to Pain to say they're the same as Lynn Vision. They're much better than Lynn Vision. They're just not. They're at the level.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. Next team on the list is Ninjas in Pajamas, a team in which I have famously been a hater on for the last 5 years. So please tell me why I should not be a hater, I guess.
Well, they blew up the bad teams, finally. And
Are we sure about that?
Yes.
We are. This team
100%.
is a really good project team. They actually went from rank 0, or I guess rank 200 or some shit, to being in the major. So it's a good story for them. Rundown. It's snappy. Of Ents, of Falcons, of heroic fame.
Say
Snappy,
Heroic
your
is the
time on
most
Falcons
important
doesn't count.
No, it didn't. It's Shush, who was realistically the star of heroic, and everyone's going to disagree, but he actually was. Wrinkle, who's pretty damn good with the AWP. They've got Ujerks, who from that Saw team that had a good run, probably the weakest piece on the team. And then Kaspersky, who was on Young Ninjas, then was on Ents as a loan. They brought him back. The guy has like no emotion in his face, but he's actually pretty fucking good. They're just a really solid team. Obviously, I am biased. I'm a Nip fan. I bleed neon yellow, apparently.
Were you gonna say I bleed brown before?
No. I would need to see the doctor if there was blood in my brown. Anyway, they're really good. They're fun. I have them going 3-1 in stage 1, and I think they could probably get it through stage 2 as well.
Yeah.
The issue is, at Cologne, just gone, I think we all had higher expectations given their form running up to that event, and they had some really good games, actually, some really close games against pretty high. Like, I think they took a map off Spirit, maybe. I'll have to check. But they had some games where they were looking pretty solid, and then they had a few little chokes and stuff. So I'm hoping they've addressed those issues, and they'll be good at the major. But
listen,
time will tell.
Let me double check something before I say what I'm going to say.
Check away, sir.
Where are they?
I'm waiting.
Where, if I scroll past, where the fuck are they? Okay, there we go. So, right now, on the global VRS standings,
Yes.
NIP are apparently 38th in the world.
Yes. I did see that.
They are a better team than that.
Okay.
Throughout the year, like, of course, you can say FURIA, obviously. They are one of the teams that has improved the most.
Mm-hmm.
They came in at a very okay level because they had good players. Kaspersky was brought in for John Sweetrice of Saw fame, and he is just much better than John Sweetrice. They will go through stage 1, and they will do.
That's Aristarce, for those of you who are
No.
schizophrenic.
I surprisingly actually got that one, and that was.
I know you might have, but I'm concerned for everybody else.
Stage 2 might be more of a fight, but I expect them to go through.
Mm-hmm.
They are 38th right now. I don't know what that makes them in Europe. 20-something, maybe. Yeah, 25th in Europe. By the Cologne Major...
It could be 38th also, you know.
By the Cologne Major, NIP will be a top 15 team.
Okay.
Will it be the same 5 players? I don't know.
Okay.
I think at some point you've got to look at the fact that Ujerks is kind of poo. But they will be a top 15 team.
Okay.
We spoke.
Let's move on to the next
maybe it
team.
was on Tuesday quickly, but the idea of Tessa going to NIP to replace Ujerks, reuniting with Shish, I think that makes it a very, very good team.
Tessis right now?
Falcons.
Is he on Falcons? Okay. I didn't know if he was still on Falcons. Falcons have made a million fucking moves.
Yeah, and he's just being like tossed about that team, just doing whatever the fuck he has to do. Oh, poor guy.
All right. Let's
Tossed
talk
around
about
by
MongolZ.
Zonic's meaty hands. Yes.
I have so many questions about MongolZ.
Okay.
So
Fire away.
first of all, who the fuck plays for this team now? Because I saw the same time that everyone else saw the whole Senzu no longer is on this team thing, and I saw the full Twitter like bell curve here of like, what the fuck are they doing, into like he has gambling issues maybe, into like no, everything's fine, this was just a what the fuck are they doing, into who's the fuck is the 5th player.
Yep. I can do a quick rundown of this. So
yeah, please.
MongolZ.
I would say this is a big storyline comparatively to the major. The MongolZ were in the finals.
MongolZ top team for this year, really sort of top 5 making finals. They won an event finally. They won Esports World Cup as well. So solid team. And then Senzu, who is their star player, is benched kind of out of nowhere, and it seemed very impromptu for both the org and the player. Some Twitter detectives said, oh, well, he had gambling issues on NKT, his previous team, where he'd like borrowed skins and then gambled them and not given them back and stuff. And then this whole thing came out that they all owed their money and stuff. There's a load of drama that we don't really need to get into. Turns out that was all apparently solved, and it was old news. All the players currently on the team have been quite, kind about him and said like, we hope he'll come back and stuff, but we still don't really know why he was benched. So they brought in this guy called Controles, or Unadal Gabasan Jargle, to use his government name, who played with them
Of course.
at
Sure.
Chengdu, and he was like really good at Chengdu as well. He's like 28 maybe, and just played like some young talent would. But that's kind of it. They're worse now, right? They're still probably in contention to take some maps and some games, but I wouldn't bet on them.
They did not look good at all in Hong Kong.
No, they didn't.
Not one bit. They could, like based on Chengdu, they could easily be in playoffs filler content, but then we'd just be like stat padding that section. I think it's far more likely that they do just go out in stage 3, probably as a 2-3 team, honestly. But yeah, is it like you lose? So what I said at the start when Senzu was gone is that for all the time Senzu disappointed on stage, Senzu never disappointed in group stages.
No,
He always got them to the stage.
Yeah.
precisely.
Now, whether he leveled up or not was whether the Mongols were going to level up is probably the truth of it. But having that group stage stomper is incredibly important when you're a team like the Mongols. When you lose that, you are actually so much worse. And
It raises your floor.
Yeah, and I think Hong Kong showed that, and I think the Major will just like really prove that point.
Okay. So Mongols not as good. Astralis at the Major, as opposed to the last one, which they were not at. So let's talk about Astralis.
The last 5 that they went at.
They haven't
5.
been at a Major in a while, but they're
5, I
back,
think.
supposedly.
Yeah. Concerned about the
God.
pressure of that, honestly. Of how they'll navigate,
Yeah,
being
so
back in the Major.
last time I left this team, okay, I'm pretty sure Cadian was still on it. He's no longer on this team. Stown is no longer on this team. But Magisk is back on this team. So we've just gone back to 2018,
Yeah, so
19 Astralis.
so what you've missed
Yeah.
is that they've realised Cadian is shit and bad.
Okay.
Especially
which
on a
we all
rifle.
knew. No,
Yeah,
note that we
especially
all
on a
knew.
rifle,
Okay.
just not worth it, and that they should have signed Hooksy all along. So they did
Correct.
that,
Okay.
and all the players since have been pretty inconsistent. Yabi looked great at first, and then he looked like Yabi again.
Okay.
And I'm talking about in the server, because off the server he always looks like Yabi, and no one needs to see that. They then positioned Stare in star roles. When Stare plays really well, you understand why he's in star roles. When he plays how he can, you realise that Denmark is dead as a Counter-Strike nation.
Okay.
He just doesn't have like that level of consistency to be in the
Can
star
we-
roles on a team with the ambitions of Astralis.
Can we just separately say that, Sam, that's a great deep dive content, is the death of Denmark as a
players?
Counter-Strike nation? No.
Oh right, well I already did. That was kind of my first
We
one.
did the dead team one, yeah. It's just
Oh,
not,
Yeah, yeah.
not we're
It was
dying.
But
It's
that's a
about
team.
Astralis.
I'm talking about the history of the country. It's a dead country for Counter-Strike now. Because it
Oh,
used to
right,
be there were
yeah.
3 teams from Denmark that were like top 10 in the world.
Well,
and now it's-
I can tell you the reason for that if you want it quickly.
I mean,
Alice.
sure.
So the reason for that is Astralis was so fucking good that everyone in Denmark obviously wanted to play like Astralis. We all know how famous Astralis were within Denmark.
Yeah.
And this is something I've actually spoken to Pimp about as well. We also know that within Denmark, Counter-Strike is like an extracurricular activity in a lot of schools. They play it and they actually learn it to some degree. Now, what that resulted in was that the Danish players learned to play like Astralis. Now, we can talk about how, for a time, CS just became the extreme version of the meta Astralis created, but it is no longer that. CS now relies so much on mechanical ability and unpredictability, and the Danes just don't have it. And you don't get to play EU Face It, so you wouldn't understand this, but Jack probably will agree with me on this. When you play a Danish 5-stack, you know you are in for a slog of a game. but you're only in it for a slog of a game because they will have set rounds and they will have utility that will just play you out of a round. In terms of their actual mechanical ability, they're not that good. In terms of things that are going to piss you off, like them flying through a smoke in the way of Finn will, they're not that good. This is genuinely just the knock-on effect of Astralis.
Wherever you play, you'll be flashed.
It's just the knock-on effect of Astralis being that good that everyone decided to play like them, and it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. They're all very good at a 2018 playstyle, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if 2018 playstyle ever comes back into being the meta, then
which it won't
holy
exist.
fuck.
But
I mean,
yes.
There's also something to say about the fact that as a nation, amongst those two, arguably 3 teams in that time, they had 7 good players, maybe 8 good players.
Okay.
I mean, 5 of them were on one team as well, so...
Yeah. There is certainly something to be said about the fact that they had 5 very, very special players concentrated on one team, which is incredibly rare for any nation.
Yeah. Let's table this. I think it's a great discussion. This is like quick programming note. This is an excellent off-season hour-long show to do.
For sure.
Yes.
This is a good evergreen content show. This is good. This is good content. We can come back to this.
Yeah.
Should talk about another dead team.
But Astralis.
Well, we should quickly talk about Astralis at the Major. Astralis at the Major, genuinely, it just depends what team shows up. Magisk is not Magisk anymore. Yabi is not even what Yabi was. Device is not what Device was. It really just depends. Could they make a playoff run? Abso-fucking-lutely. Are they one of the teams with the lowest percentage chance of doing that we expect will get to stage 3? Yes. So there isn't much more to say than that. Astralis is going to be at this level until they are no longer a team with 5 Danish players.
I think we could sum them up with a quote of sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Thank you.
Incredible quote.
Gattuso.
Another shit team.
Are you talking about Liquid or the team that guy coached for?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move to Liquid. I can tell you, without thinking, shit team. So this team, the only move they've made, minus twists plus a liege.
Yeah.
Which is one of the moves of all time. Let me remind you that we did minus a liege plus twists before. And now we're doing minus twist plus a liege, yeah.
Oh,
when Twist first joined from FaZe.
Yeah, we did. So here's the thing. At the time, minus Elise plus Twist should have been really good. They had a team then that looked really good, apart from Skulls. Obviously, it didn't work out. Me and Jack know things we're not going to say on the podcast as to why it didn't work out.
You can't say this every time we talk about Liquid. You can't keep bringing it up. We're teasing everyone.
Yeah, because one day we're going to drop it, and it's going to be great.
Truth nuke. Okay.
We'll do it after what we know is going to happen to that other team that we've spoken about recently. Once that happens, we'll drop the truth nuke. You'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, sure.
No, he's figured it out. He's figured it out.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, that didn't work. And it ended up that Twist actually became a bit of a problem for the Liquid team. It made Nerds bad. It made Kindar bad. It made everyone bad. And it got to a point where actually swapping Twists for a liege should have been a very, very good move. The problem is, a liege just might not be that guy. It has made Nerds better. NAF actually has good games again now.
That's a huge win. NAF looked like the worst player in the world for a bit.
Ultimate really is still an AWPer that plays Counter-Strike.
Yep.
And Shuey, since Flashy came in, Flashy is their coach for context.
Yes.
Shuey actually seems like he can in-game lead again. Liquid is a team that has improved. They've just not improved as much as you'd like. And I don't think their ceiling is as high as it probably should be. Again, they're just another team that probably needs to make changes and just won't make those changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's now move into the playoffs filler content. So these are teams that will actually do something. Sounds kind of mean, but like may make it to playoffs. If our math is correct here, we actually have one too many teams for playoffs in these top 3 tiers, but who gives a fuck? So these are the teams that you're looking at that could.
Well, I didn't put one of those teams there, but yes.
Well, we'll talk about that, and we'll start with G2.
Yeah.
Which is not the G2 that, if you watched the last major, was there.
Yeah. So
No,
the quick rundown of G2 is that they are better. Obviously, the last major they did play with Hades as a stand-in. Hunter is now the IGL of the
and
team.
with Snacks. Let's not gloss over the fact that they were still playing with Snacks.
Yeah. So Hunter is now the IGL of the team. Snacks and Taz are both gone. Saw is the coach, formerly of Heroic and Ents. MOUZ is still there. Heavy God, I think, had already signed for them. Yes, he had.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Sampius came in as the AWPer. Obviously, we knew that by the time Austin began. And Mattis signed from Fnatic after G2 couldn't get a couple of players, one of which was Nerds they tried to get. I don't know how public that is. Probably is very public. And Nerds wanted to go. Don't know how public that is, but it is now.
We think.
But Liquid blocked it. Oh, yeah, so we think.
The good news is, from that debacle, though, is that Matish is really good.
Yeah, Mattis, great. A lot of fun to watch play. G2, I said at the time that they won Rostermania. The post-Austin Rostermania. On the basis Furia made their changes before that, I'm going to say that they still did win it.
Mattis is, just to remind me, Mattis is the player with the really fucked up mouse pad, right?
He's since corrected that, but yes, famously he had the world's crustiest mouse pad.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I was thinking of the right player. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Please.
But here's the thing. G2 won Blast Open London. They won it in quite an impressive fashion in the final against Astralis. And when I said that I thought they won Rostermania, I didn't expect that to mean that we would put them in playoffs filler content when we did this episode.
What did you expect? What was your goal there?
I expected back then, and yes, things have changed.
But
now,
yeah, we all understand
happened.
that there's stipulations.
Yeah, Furia have happened since. I thought G2 were going to come into this major as Cloud9 or Gambit, where actually, if you are someone who pays attention to Counter-Strike, when they win the major, you look at it and you go, oh, okay.
We see how they got here.
They are actually the 5th or 6th best team in the world.
Outsiders, kind of.
I was about to say, see also outsiders of Rio.
Yeah, where, like, it's actually completely understandable they won, and it's not really a fluke either. It's not like NAVI, who, their major is with some absolutely ridiculous stats that we won't see again. We just won't. Yeah,
but it's this all makes sense. That if you had told me 2 months before, oh, G2's going to win the major, yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's not probable, but like I can understand the path in which that happens.
Yeah, they just haven't kicked on since London, and I spoke about this in the deep dive that released this week. I don't know why. Sampius isn't Sampius anymore. MOUZ has maybe sacrificed too much. Maybe Hunter isn't used to being an IGL enough. It could be so many different things. But they are at best that... I don't know, man. Like, yeah, they're just in this category. They're the 6th to 8th.
They're better than Stage 3, but we don't feel that they're good enough to actually maybe go deeper into playoffs.
Yeah, they will lose to... Any of those teams above them, they will lose to in a quarterfinal.
They could they, like, going back to this discussion we had before in regards to PARIVISION about like the benchmark teams, the bellwether team, right? Like, are they that bellwether team right now?
They're still
to some degree.
I think, but
they're still better than that. Okay.
I think honestly, the playoffs, like, the matchups matter. Like, if they get Spirit, and it's the Spirit we've seen as of late.
So
they could win that game.
So
And
here's
I
my
say this as a
question
guy
for
who
you.
likes Team Spirit, but
Here's my question for you guys while we're sitting here right now just into playoff filler content, and I'll ask this again in a minute. How deep is the line between out in stage 3 and playoffs filler content, right? Like how stringent is that line there, do you think?
I think there's some
think-
room for motion.
Okay. So it's a fluid line. It's not a very like certain concrete line.
Because
I know that sometimes these are very concrete lines that were like, no, there's no shot.
I think
That's certain.
the issue is having FaZe there, because FaZe can either 3-0 every stage, or they can really struggle this
Well,
major.
we'll have a conversation, but
I think over 50% of out in stage 3 could also be playoffs filler content.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I think at least 50% of playoffs filler content could also be an out in stage 3.
so super fluid line here is what you're saying.
Yeah. This
Okay.
this could just be one.
This could be
One
one big
category,
tier if we really wanted
but
to.
that's not fun. To
That's
do.
not fun. Yeah.
The last thing I will say on G2, if any team in those top 2 categories does not win the major, it is G2 that has won it.
Okay.
Now, as I said before, I don't think that they have as high potential as they did 6 months ago or whatever. But Navi, Legacy or FaZe will not win the major. G2 are the biggest chance outside of those 5 teams above them.
Okay.
Now let's talk about the team why I'm really confused why they're in this tier.
Yeah, so FaZe, I want to talk about FaZe moves because if you look at FaZe on paper, you go, yes, that makes total sense. But then you forget about everything that's happened in the last 2 years because we've done the Elige Twist swap again.
Yeah.
Okay, so Twist is back on FaZe, Elige is back on Liquid, and they've done minus Rain for Jacob, who you had alluded to before has not played incredibly
He's
great
so
since
Some
shit.
hates this guy. Some
Okay.
wants-
He's
And-
fucking
So-
awful.
Rain himself has started a new project over on 100 Thieves, which I assume
Very
you guys
excited
have
for that.
talked about on the podcast previously.
we have.
But this team, just on paper, seems very similar to the team that went to finals against Navi 3 years ago, whatever it was, right? Except they have Jacob except for in place of Rain, but you seem a little bit more apoplectic as opposed to previous iterations of this team.
Jack, you go first or I go first?
I'll go first.
Let's go with
right.
the positive first, and then we can go to the negative because I have
Neither
Jack
of
has
us
a
will be positive.
Well,
I'm sure.
I am gonna be positive initially, because this is the reason I had them
Fucking
in
hell.
this tier. Is that much against my better knowledge and my opinions on him as an in-game leader in 2025, Carrigan can just somehow bullshit his way to playoffs time and time after again. Teams that shouldn't do it do. You can eye roll all you want, but it has happened many times. And
If it happens this time, it's because he's retiring.
I mean, it should have been 3 years ago. But
Well, yeah.
should this team make playoffs? Probably not. I absolutely agree with that. But there's just that FaZe bullshit, man, and I don't want to be too onto the mysticism, but I'd feel silly not putting them in because there's a world where they do.
So here's the thing. That
Tell me.
bullshit, that undoubted bullshit that does exist, that's why I won't. That's why I'll do them the courtesy of not having them be out in stage 2. This FaZe team
Okay.
is not good.
So you're telling me
It
you
is
want them?
not good.
You were gonna put them like down here out in stage 2.
So
but you'll compromise on stage 3.
yeah, they're probably more likely to go out in stage 3, but how when we were talking about GamerLegion, I said that you can also have a bad AWPer, and that
Yeah.
really affects. Brokey is not good.
I was a little
not.
surprised that when we heard that Jacob was coming in, that it wasn't for Brokey. That it wasn't like an additional move for
They
a real
would be-
offer.
They would actually be better off with Carrigan AWPing on CT sides and
Shut
running
up,
5
shut
rifles on a T
shut
side than
Okay.
Brokey is not good, man. And yes, that was hyperbole. But
Twist CT side up, man. It's a thing.
he's too good on a rifle for them to do it. They would be worse.
But okay, continue.
Jacob is arguably the craziest cronyism in CS since like Shocks and Smiths. Like, it's actually insane.
Well, probably since Jambo and Shikazmo, if we're being honest.
Well, yeah, possibly.
Which is too recent to be a good comparison, but yes.
But for context, you might not know, Logan. Carrigan's wife is the sports psychologist for BetClick Apogee.
I'm sorry, for what? You just said...
For
I'm sorry, I got a text on my phone at the same time, and you said... BetClick Apogee?
Correct.
That is
What
the team that Jacob was signed from.
What in the fuck? Okay, sure, yeah.
So, you know, he's clearly just, like, at some point got some sloppy toppy, and he's like, no, I need a new fifth. Who am I going to get? And she's like, well, I got this guy. Which is a strange thing to be talking about. There's a chance, right?
Pillow talk, and it's just about young Polish players.
Yeah. There's always a chance. He is, like...
Oh, God.
I feel so bad for the kid. I
just went down a quick, like, deep dive into the BetClick history. Diha's on this team, and Hypex is formerly on. I don't want to know anymore.
Yeah, sorry, it's bad. I genuinely feel sorry for Jacob, because if FaZe comes calling, you are not saying no.
No, you don't say no.
And maybe in 2 or 3 years' time, Jacob will be good enough for FaZe. But Jacob is a GamerLegion level player, a heroic level player.
He needs like a development team.
He needs
you need your 1.5 team before you get exactly.
Yeah.
And he's also just like, for the aspirations FaZe have, that's very stupid.
Yeah.
When there are young stars, it's just that they're just like broke. I'm pretty sure
he is suffering. Yeah, FaZe are broke. They are so broke. He is suffering. Twist is excelling. Frozen is like consistently very, very good. Frozen is very underrated, I think. I don't think people realise how good Frozen
Which
is
insane talking about Frozen that way, because he was one of the best players in the world for when
he's mega legit, man. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah. In terms of like of what players like him and Rops do, he's the only player that comes close to Rops. He comes nowhere near Rops because Rops is like
Rops is Rops. It's a
He's one of the greatest players to ever touch the game. Also underrated in that sense, in my opinion. But Frozen, he's the next best thing.
He's like, I want Rops. We have Rops at home, but it's like you're actually not that mad about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when we had this conversation about
your mom's bought the good pizza.
Who replaces Magisk on Vitality?
He's a good fellow.
Vitality. And it was like, okay, Mezzi's the next best thing, but there's like 3 people in the world who can do what Magisk does. Just none of them can do it as well as Magisk can at that time.
Yeah. But this team just ain't it. Carrigan is calling a style that hasn't been meta in such a long time. Like I know they had a good run at the start of CS2, but I think that might have just been because they were hitting.
They're an NA team at heart. You just have to remember that.
Yeah. The thing is with CS2, and if you look at every team above, so what do they all have? Like even Navi and Legacy to an extent, and G2 as well, but MOUZ, Exertion, Spirit, Donk, Vitality, Flames, Falcons, Kaisuke, FURIA, Yakinda. They all have aggressive riflers that they can build their T-side around. FaZe have Jacob. And before that they had Rain, neither of whom the T-side was built around. They are there to serve a purpose, but the T-side isn't built around them finding success first. The T-side is still built the same way it was in 2022, where it is how do we give Brokey, Twist, and now Frozen instead of Rops a chance to win this round. Not the best chance, not like Shiro.
Just a chance.
Yeah, not like Shiro or Spinks or Keserato and Yuri or whoever you want to say, where it's how do we give them the best chance, it's how do we give them a chance. And it's just like, they're just fucking miserable to watch. They are a truly miserable team.
But the point you make with their style, which is why I still believe in that sort of, FaZe magic, FaZe bullshit, whatever, that kind of volatile, clutchy style, which, again, isn't meta, and they shouldn't be doing it, it does allow for some very, very high highs. And if things work out during the major that way, then they may have a good run.
It does, but those high highs are so focused around.
And they're also harder to get with Jacob opening and taking space and Brokey not being as good as to be. I agree.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a start
talking
moving on.
about FaZe.
We have 7 more teams to go, and we've been
Let's wrap
going
this shit up. Come on.
for a bit of time.
Should we
Next
speed
team
run?
on our list is Nodis Vincere. No, we should not speed run, but let's keep our remarks to the important bits
Yeah.
and the important disses.
Navi
Not as sincere.
should change their name to Not V because they're not very good anymore. Really? Then that's it.
I don't have much more to say than that. Actually, like I know we've just made this comment about
so
speedrunners.
let's I have a question. I'm gonna ask my question.
Go on.
I remember in the major or in the post-major episode we talked about MongolZ coming up. That was a big discussion point that we had just after the major because we kind of like knew it was about to happen and then it happened. So how is the MongolZ experience be instead of JL?
So here's the thing, right? I still don't think MongolZ was ever meant to come up for JL.
No. Not.
I think Imma was losing his place on the team.
And then he played well.
And FaZe wouldn't give them Frozen. Because that was a rumour.
Yeah.
And JL then threw the curveball of, well, I'm going either way.
Mm-hmm.
So
MongolZ
stepped in for JL, and they
MongolZ
had to keep
is-
Imma.
Yeah. So MongolZ's interesting to talk about alongside Kaiosuke, right? So they were the two big stars.
One's good and one's not.
Well, no, MongolZ hasn't been bad at all, but they were the two
No.
big stars of the academy system
Yeah.
at the time. Kaiosuke, exceptional talent on a team that wasn't as good. Navi Junior played the better Counter-Strike. Spirit Academy had the better player. That shows now because Kaiosuke is fucking exceptional and MongolZ is just good. Like MongolZ has come up to the higher level.
It's
and
very
has proved-
system as opposed to individual.
Yeah. He has
Yeah, I think
proved
that's
he
fair.
can play at this level. He isn't sinking at all, unless something has happened in the last few months that I just haven't paid attention to.
Yeah, I mean we're not saying it's a sink or swim kind of thing, but it's
Yeah.
more of
He's,
like
he's got a 1.09.
He's not
like
He's not made them better,
So,
though. That's my issue.
I've talked on the podcast before about VORP, which is this like sports stat for value over replacement player. It's used a lot in the NBA.
Yeah, I remember us talking about that.
So in like value over replacement player, he is kind of just like replacement player. He's just a solid player and will stand there. Whereas Kaiosuke's VORP is like very high because he is incredibly better than just a given player.
Well, so here's the thing, right? MongolZ all-time HLTV, because he's had a short enough career, you can look at it like that. 1.17. In the last 6 months, 1.12. That is an acceptable drop-off.
Yeah.
That suggests that he's actually quite good, right? The issue with Navi, they kind of lose out on firepower across the board. Bit is obviously very good. Elliot definitely overrates him because he's Elliot.
He's Elliot. Yep.
Bit's still 22. Let's just keep that in mind. That guy's going to be one of the greatest.
Imma is like... He's Imma. Wonderful. Cannot hit a shot on the CT side.
Still?
Oh, Logan, it's so incredible. Right, so we spoke about...
Are we at like Draken 30% angle levels of stuff yet?
Let me go
Draken
back.
could
You
hit
know how
flex.
we spoke about... you know how earlier we spoke about the... that I'd already done an article on Astralis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a graphic that Jack made in that article where it has Wonderful, 910, Pius, Torsi, Woxic, and Device. It has their CT side
Can you
ratings.
send me this graphic?
Yeah. It has their CT side ratings and their T side ratings on. Wonderful is the only one, and you can pull it up on your stream.
Yeah,
now,
I want to
I'm
pull it up
sending
on
to
this.
you now.
I want to pull it up on the screen. That's the reason.
Wonderful is the only one who has a higher T side rating. He also has the lowest CT side rating. That suggests a big problem Now, what it does suggest, and when you look at their T-side win rates, is Alexi B is a good caller who fucking knew. But their firepower is a problem, and that's why, like, they're maybe good enough to go to the playoffs. I'd consider them to be. But also, like we said earlier, it's so open outside of the top 5 teams that if they don't, okay, like I won't even be disappointed.
It wouldn't be anything ridiculous.
Yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed in them if they didn't.
In 5 years' time, if we looked back at the playoffs of this major, you wouldn't say we're an RV. I don't think at this time.
Okay.
Well,
you know what I mean?
In the way people view esports, people will always say we're an RV.
Actually, yes.
Top. Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know what I mean.
I understand what you mean. If you removed logos and just put team members, it would be what, like, no one is asking where this team is, right? Okay, let's move on to Legacy, who I think is the biggest surprise for me in the top 3 section here. Legacy, like, MOUZ is very good. We've been talking about MOUZ for a long time. We've been talking about how Lado is pretty good for a long time. What the fuck happened here that we put them in the we're certain to make playoffs kind of bracket?
I think things have just clicked though, man. Things are just, and that's like such a cop-out answer, but they're just winning.
It could be a real answer, like.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing well lately.
They're just good.
They're on a good run of form, I would say, and the majors are a good time for that to happen.
Okay, here's the thing.
Can we have a counter for how many times Sam says "here's the thing" in this episode?
Yeah.
Charlie,
I think we're at 50 already.
Get on it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You know how I said FaZe are here as a courtesy?
Yeah.
Legacy are also here as a courtesy. Because Legacy have now won an event. They played in the final of another. And they have looked quite good recently. But they have a couple of players who aren't that good. And those events saw them play in fields that were very weak. Like, one of the event they won is an event that you're looking at and thinking, Liquid might be the favourite to win this.
That was CS Asia Championship 25.
Correct, yes.
So if you think of everything we've said about Liquid,
Who the fuck
that doesn't suggest
Hoots?
that...
Oh,
that's
That's
Navi
formerly Navi Junior.
I'm diving too deep. I'm sorry, everyone. Please continue.
That doesn't suggest Legacy are actually that good. And this is what I said about them in the deep dive. They are there because they are better than the teams that they've beaten in these competitions. And the teams they've beaten in these competitions are the teams that are lower than them right now. They are lower than them in this.
They are here because when you do the actual team-by-team comparison, they are better than the teams below, not because... And they happen to be in playoffs filler content because the teams below, we think even less of them.
But that's not how the major works.
No.
Because they could face any number of the 5 teams above them, or even a couple of the teams along this bracket, and maybe a couple of teams below it, and they could easily lose, and it wouldn't be an upset. Obviously, the teams above wouldn't.
It just would be.
Yeah. People would call it a disappointment or like a return to normal. Realistically, I just think they're an okay team with a high enough ceiling to profit off being in amongst bad teams and make themselves look good. And Elliot I said this in the deep dive, and Elliot left a comment on it saying, to be fair, this is in essence what a good team is. This isn't in essence what a good team is, because the 5 teams above that prove that fucking wrong. They're not a bad team. Like, I still think the way that they beat Vitality in Austin was a fluke. That could only have happened on Inferno. They're not bad.
Best map in the pool.
They're just not, particularly good either. I don't think. I don't think they have the firepower to be that good.
The point to remember, the point that I'm making is that they're in a good run of form coming into the major, right? If we picked these names out of a hat at the start of the year, I would have gone no. But I think right now they're better than they have been, and there's a chance for them to make a good run.
Yeah, form matters a lot, confidence matters a lot, but also so does the team list of a tournament.
This is true.
Let's move on then to MOUZ, who have not made any moves since the last major. They look exactly the same as they did. Have they gotten better? Because that's the thing with MOUZ is they've always like gotten incrementally better every time they've played.
They've kind of been up and down this year, I'd say.
No, they haven't.
But like from like second best team to fourth best team, I would say.
I'd say they've been the second best team all year.
Okay.
I'm not saying it. Fuck you. MOUZ have played 16 events this year.
Okay.
They have been a top 4 team in all but 3 of them. 2 of the events that they weren't top 4 in was Blast Bounty Season 1, where they lost to Bet Boom in the opening round and then benched Sui immediately afterwards.
Yep. Which it wasn't this roster, so we can put that off to the side for the minute.
The next event after that was Kato, where they played with Jack. You might remember the stand-in. I certainly don't.
Zelex.
Yeah.
It's not a real player. Please.
Not a real player. They finished dead last there.
Fun fact about him quickly. He has about 4k hours in the game. He's barely touched the game. Barely played, and he's just better than will ever be. Anyway.
You know what's really funny? Is you said that, and I was like, wait, is that supposed to be a lot? Because I think I have 4k hours.
No, precisely.
I have 3.87. Yeah, just check.
Yeah, he hasn't touched the game. But, yeah.
Anyway. The only other one in which they haven't finished the top 4 was the Esports World Cup, where they placed in the top 8, which was also one of the only single elimination tournaments this year.
This is true.
MOUZ are an incredibly good team that don't get the credit for how good they are because, like, oh, they've choked, or they've got no aura, which, like, fuck off, by the way. Like, they might be boring, but like,
Vision has aura. Off. He does carry it in his upper chest, but he does have aura.
MOUZ are so good that, but no one really wants them to be because they don't have, like, anyone particularly flashy.
No.
They're the definition of a better than the sum of their parts team.
And the fact they are as consistent as they are, for my money, makes them the second best team in the world. And if it's not them, it's Falcons. Because they can beat Vitality and they can beat Spirit. They can beat any team above them. And it's why in the deep dive, I said that if FURIA don't win the major, I think it might be MOUZ. Because they don't choke. Yeah. They are the team that is, like you say, better than the sum of their parts. They are that team. I don't think they can ever improve a single part. Is the truth of it. I don't think that they have the money to, nor do I think the players are available. I think not a single one of the MOUZ players is the best in their role. But they're fucking close. And
I think there's a conversation for Zishan and Jimmy for being the best or the second best in their role, I would say. Maybe not Jimmy right now, but Zishan, I think.
Zishan plays the same role as Dunk, let me remind you.
Yeah, and I think he's obviously not as good, but Zishan was the only player trying to win during Chengdu. Like, in the Vitality game, he was like, he was going barnacles, man. He was ridiculous.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is there is a world where this, like, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, is the story of this MOUZ team. And if it, unlike, someone like Astralis, I think it would always remain that story. I don't think there will ever be a gap in the teams again that they are good enough to take a hold of and become the best team in the world, nailed on, whatever, where they would be profiteering in the way like someone like Legacy have or Aurora did earlier on in the year. But they are at an incredibly good point. And they could win any tournament at any given point in time. And people definitely underrate the entire roster.
All right. Let's move on to Spirit. The big moves, they have made a couple big moves since the last major. The first, it's minus Magix, minus Zontix, add Zwei and Tanir.
Yeah,
has it helped?
One of those moves is good.
I assume you mean the Tanir move?
Yeah.
Jack, talk while I charge up.
Sam and I both have a theory on this that Tanir's the real Maddox replacement and Zvei is a temporary fix for Zontix. I think that's got to be the case because, yeah. And I'm not gonna. Spirit have not had great T sides as of late, and without stealing Sam's points, for a team with Donk and Shiro, they have not won as much as they should have won this year. And we'll now hand it over to Sam to, I don't know, verbally assassinate Chopper or something.
Let's just keep it verbal for now. Chopper and Hallie, or at least Hallie, it is time to go. You have fucking Donk and fucking Shiro on your team, and you have won this year. Let me just remind myself.
The biggest event of the year. I am Cologne.
Irrelevant.
I'm trolling a little bit, but you know.
Astana, Cologne, Blast Bounty,
So, okay.
Season 1 and 2.
Okay, so Blast Bounties, half of which is online, and half the
Yep.
teams don't really give a fuck about.
Yep.
Astana, dog tier fucking field. Truly terrible field.
Yep. Okay. And then they want
Cologne.
Cologne. Which we will say Cologne is a big deal of an event.
Yeah. But here's the point I've tried to make on the podcast a couple times now. In terms of completing Counter-Strike, Spirit have speedrun that. In 18 months, they won Kato, a Major, and Cologne. That is great, but it makes them look so much better than they are. So much better than they are. Like, if you tell me the way that they've won these events, right, especially Kato, if you told me that after that win in Kato, this would be all they had to show for the next 2 years, I would have asked you what went wrong. Because I promise you, if you go back to when they won Kato, everyone was saying they will be the new dominant force. When they won the major in Shanghai, how were they? How were they the new dominant force? How many tournaments have they won? Well, it was the same thing when they won Shanghai.
Blast London, Shanghai, right? And a few others.
Yeah.
They bombed out Cologne last year.
Who became the best team in the world? Oh yeah, fucking Navi. Right? They were the best team in the world. They were the best team in the world.
I'm not engaging in that. That's fucking insane.
So, did you not watch Counter-Strike last year when they were either winning every event or were in the final of every event? They were the best team in the world. They were, undoubtedly. For 6 months of the year, they were the best team in the world.
I would agree with them being the best team in the world.
Yeah, you can pretend that they weren't, but like, all you're doing is like...
What, from Copenhagen
revealing
onwards?
yourself. Yeah. If you are in the final or win, well, I mean, if you win it, you're in the final either way. You're in the final of like 9 events in a row. You are the best team in the world. Like, don't be ridiculous. Who else was if it wasn't them?
Okay, I suppose they were pretty good.
Right. They win Shanghai. What's the conversation again? Oh, they're just going to dominate, aren't they? Every time Spirit win an event, it's like, oh, we're finally going to get the Spirit. No, we're not. Because that Spirit doesn't exist. It doesn't exist because their system is fucking terrible. Like, okay, Zwei isn't good enough regardless, right? He's just not. Tanir has gone off a cliff. I've said all this on the podcast already. Tanir has gone off a cliff. Their system is not good enough for them to be the team that Donk and fucking Shiro deserve. So, of these 4 teams in potential of a winners, they simultaneously have the biggest chance of winning the major and also the lowest chance.
Isn't that
because
exciting?
Donk and Shiro...
Isn't that a fun team to support?
No, it's fucking frustrating.
If
No,
they only love you
it's-
when you're
it's
winning,
frustrating.
it doesn't matter. No.
It's frustrating.
No. Jack, what football team are you a fan of?
I'm a fan of Swansea City, so I know what it feels like to lose.
Okay. Well, I am a fan of the baseball team, the New York Mets, okay? Famously spend $1 trillion on their roster every season. And
Really? Is that real?
Actually, not
That's
not
an
a trillion.
exaggeration.
I was going to say,
right?
well,
They-
American
they
sport
just-
has mental
well,
money.
Okay, they just paid Juan Soto $747 million for the next 15 years.
Okay.
Is he good?
Okay. Sorry,
He is
carry on.
a top two player in baseball.
Is he one who throws ball fast or fucking hits ball hard?
He
What
hit
does
ball
do?
very hard. Hit
Okay.
ball very hard.
Cool.
My
I
point
get it
here,
now.
is that they have just signed one of the best players in baseball. They have an incredible shortstop. They have these incredibly high expectations, and this year they went 83-72. They did not make the playoffs.
Okay. so
They
that's
were
bad.
just the most
Is that a
mediocre.
score thing, or do you just play that many games?
Do you play 162 games of baseball?
Wow.
They play almost every day.
Really?
Yes.
How
Neither
does
here
that
nor there.
work?
But the
Sorry, no. Take a second. How does that
Okay.
work?
well,
How
so
many
you
teams are there?
there's 30 teams in the MLB.
And they
But
play
This is
over
a Counter-Strike
how many times?
podcast.
The big thing about the
That's
MLB is that you
fascinating.
have a different pitcher every day, a different starting pitcher, and you use different relief pitchers every day, and that's the thing that is generally the most like tiring in terms of strenuousness
Maybe
is
baseball
throwing
isn't
90
shit.
plus miles an hour. So you have like a week of rest on pitchers, but your everyday players who play in the field and stuff, it's not that bad on them, so they get to play every day.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Carry on with your point.
So my point here is that the New York Mets are this past year were the most middle of the road, did not make the playoffs, but far and away had the highest salary, okay? And had one if not two of the best players, like, right? Juan Soto
So
was
you're
second.
showing Falcons actually, not Spirit.
No, I'm actually doing the Spirit bit here because just
Yeah,
let me
this is
finish.
the
Let me
Spirit
finish.
bit.
This is the Spirit bit. Is that Donk is Juan Soto here, right? He is one of the greatest players of his generation. He is incredibly good. He hit 40 home runs and stole 30 bases this year. He's incredibly good. Francisco Lindor is Shiro here. He is incredibly good in the field. He's incredibly good bat. He's so good. And then the entire pitching staff and the rest of the system of the New York Mets let down these two all generational players.
Okay.
Okay, and that's and made them just a mediocre team for the year.
As
Is that the
someone
fact that they
who loves-
couldn't pitch, they couldn't fucking field third base, but because of all of that, they couldn't actually win games unless it was from heroics from Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor. And Pete
As
Alonso.
someone who loves comparison to traditional sports, that was excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. I just really wanted to talk about the New York Mets.
Yeah. They just. It's just unacceptable, man. Like, I'm so sick of Spirit. If Spirit were the best team in the world, winning fucking everything the way Vitality were, I wouldn't complain. Right? I'd obviously be looking forward to when they got toppled. Because that's the good thing about having a dominant team, right?
Yes.
Is who beats them.
Who gets
They
put
have
over?
Duncan Shiro. Like, great. Cool. And Tania also is good enough to be on a team that good. Until he came on Spirit, and then he got fucking worse. Zway, he's in roles he just like, like, why is he fucking bomb site entry? He was a fucking lurker. Why did you ever sign him if you were going to sign Tania?
Well, because they were signing him for till Zontix back, isn't it? That's got to be the case, man. I know that doesn't
Even
change the issues with.
It
No,
doesn't
I know.
change
I
the
know.
issues. Like, it's so stupid. Yes, Zway's worse than he should be because like his CT roles are kind of the same, right? Like he's not
Mostly,
being left out to dry on CT. I think it's like 5 out of 7 are the same, and he's just bad. But fuck Spirit, man. Fuck Spirit until they become the number 1 team in the world and nail it in, because they have never been that. They haven't been. Not once in 2 years. And they should have been for probably a full year of that.
We will be there for the Spirit Budapest Major trophy lift, and you will have
Yeah,
egg
yeah.
on your
And
face,
if
Sam.
it happened... No, I won't. I won't have egg on my face. Because, as I said, like, out of
I'll be
this category,
shouting eggy boy at you.
they simultaneously have the biggest chance of winning it and the smallest chance of winning it. That's just what
That's
this team
awesome.
is.
That's awesome.
No, it's not.
That's
if you're
good for
an
the
idiot,
sport.
maybe.
It's good. It's good
No.
fun.
No, it's not. It's
Oh, I want my
Again, I just-
really boring team to win all the time. You sound
No,
like
it's not
Harry
that I-
Nero Richards,
well,
mate.
No, it's not that I want my really boring team to win ahead of time. It's as a fan of multiple sports teams who, when I watch the team, I have a heart attack because they are either the best team in the world or the worst team in the world. My cardiologist has told me that I need to lay off. And I cannot do that in Counter-Strike as well, to have a heart attack every fucking time I watch a team.
You guys are scared of
Good
living.
teams push other teams to be better.
Okay,
Spirit don't push anyone to be better.
for what it's worth, my cardiologist did not actually tell me to do that, but
I'm glad about that.
Yeah, my cardiologist says I'm good.
I'm also happy about this.
Can we talk
Okay,
about
let's move on to
the other
Vitality.
team?
Yeah, let's talk about Vitality. So this was like the best team in the world, and it wasn't actually particularly close. And now they're sitting in potential other winners. What the fuck happened?
Sucks.
Okay.
Their map pool
For
sucks.
one.
To the point where in Chengdu they picked their they banned their first pick, or a map they picked a lot, to play a map they haven't practiced. They played Ancient, which Zywo and Apex both have had 0 HLTV games on before that final, just for context of how bad the map pool is. They've been at a lot of events, so that's where I'm going to give them some grace, but Vitality's train, particularly, has not evolved since the map was introduced. They have not changed how they play at all. They have not evolved. And this is true on a few maps, actually. But train's the most offensive,
notable.
Honestly. Yeah.
Their train is terrible.
And secondly, I have them here because like they can still fucking win it, but I kind of don't want them to. I like Vitality. I like most of the players. Keyword most, but I just kind of fed up with them being good or being at the top. Really, it's more that than I think they're bad. They're not as good as they have been, definitely not. But to say they're not, if they won, I wouldn't be like surprised. I'd be annoyed, but I wouldn't be surprised.
So, if Spirit have simultaneously the biggest and lowest chance of winning the major, Vitality are like the second biggest,
And the
probably
second lowest.
No, I don't think second lowest out of this
Okay.
category. But they're certainly the second biggest.
Mm-hmm.
Where Vitality, I think if Donk and Shiro didn't exist, or maybe just Donk, right? Or a couple of players didn't exist, you would look at Vitality and you would say, like, this is the super team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just have someone good in every role. Apex is undoubtedly one of the best IGLs in the world. Flames is one of the best aggro riflers in the world. Mezzy is like glue player, is fucking astoundingly good. Rops and Zywo speak for themselves. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Vitality are so good. And they have been so good this season. Where, because they were so good last season, everyone thinks they've been terrible all season.
It's the comparison.
It's suffering
just
from
like-
success.
Yeah, it's because you
Precisely.
aren't the most dominant team ever that you're now just shit comparatively.
Yeah. And Chengdu was so nearly a 5-map final, or even a 3-0 in the way of Vitality. So nearly. Like, Fallen won a couple of massive clutch rounds that just won maps of Furia. Vitality could so easily win this major, but they're just not as good as they were in the first half of the year. Whether that's because, every other team got stronger, maybe they did slightly profit off bad teams. It's kind of rare that any team as dominant as Vitality isn't doing that. In fact, there probably is no cases of it being realistic in any sport, actually. Maybe the players were just in hot form as well. Maybe their maps have dropped off slightly, but they've still got the players to win the major. They can still easily win the major because they are that good of a team. It's just they aren't the favourite anymore. And that's kind of okay, because if Furia hadn't have excelled to the level they have in the past 2 months, there would just be 5 teams in this category. And we'd be calling it a day at that, and every team would have like a 20% chance of winning. It'd be fine.
Something to note as well: the 2 Vitality majors, they won the event prior to that event both times. Obviously, they haven't won Chengdu or Hong Kong, so according to the supercomputer, they shouldn't win this major.
They're also one of the only teams that actually does win the event before
Yes, this is
they
true.
win the major. Not many teams do that.
Okay. All right, let's move on. We are at an hour and 51 minutes of the recording. I know there's
Guys,
a
you're
couple
getting
minutes
2
broken up,
podcasts this
but, like,
week, and one that's twice as long. Awesome.
Yeah. Falcons. here's the big deal: is it's minus Magisk plus Kaiosuke since the last major. I have been told this team is good. I refuse to believe that.
They're really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There is just one issue with this team at the major that I think we all know, and that's Nico.
Has a curse, sadly.
Nico upset some Balkan witch in his childhood.
Is this the first major Zonic has been at without Magisk?
No.
No, because Atlanta.
No. And probably a couple before
Prior,
that.
but definitely
since Astralis started winning.
Since
and
Magisk
came
joined.
in.
Yeah,
since
since
Magisk joined, I
Magisk
would
and
say
Zonic
so.
have been together.
Okay.
This is the first one.
Yeah.
Because that's a long time majors. That's like 8 years worth of majors right there. Because they actually made majors when Astralis wasn't.
Buns.
To some degree.
So Falcons are a very good team with exceedingly high firepower. If you're talking about firepower out of 2 players, they might even be the closest team to Spirit in that sense, even more so than Vitality, because Vitality do have Rops and Zywoo, but like Kaiosuke or Nico, take your pick, and Monasi is an incredible amount of firepower.
Well, they would definitely have top 3, right? There's no, like, your third person on Vitality is Flames, then?
Yeah.
That's not saying Flames is bad, but the trio
Yeah, and him being the third player is very, very good as well. But Falcons have, well...
They have the best.
Are we saying Nico is the third player? You're right?
It doesn't really matter if you say Nico or
it's an and/or. They have the best 3-man core in the world. They just do.
But just on that point as well, if Nico is up with potentially being your third best player, Jesus Christ, what a fucking team, right? I think for him not to be the curry is impressive.
Everyone wants to hate Falcons, right? Everyone brings up these unlosable rounds. I can't remember which Twitter account posted it the other day, but it was those stupid fucking card grading sleeve things, but with
PSA
the radars
sleeve?
from the Falcons.
That's pretty good.
Sure. With the radar from Falcons and there were 6 of them. From 12 months, 6 of them.
Yeah.
How many times do you think a team of Falcons level gets clutched? Someone wins a clutch against them. Now, a couple of the clutches they have lost have been bad. The major one against MIBR 6-back. The major one, as in the Turkish one, sticks out. And I think the Blitz one also sticks out. You know, with the one where he's just stuck car under Jack. I can't remember what event it was. Maybe it was EWC.
I think it is, and he just fiddles them.
Yeah. No, a couple of them sticks out. But from the Hong Kong final, there is a round that Kicksan won where he's trapped wine on fucking A-Site Inferno, and there is a player coming from every angle on the side of FURIA. Kicksan won it.
Yeah.
Every team loses unlosable rounds, but every cunt in Counter-Strike wants to go at Falcon's throat.
But this is the thing, right? Like, whenever there's a super team, like, even, like, when FaZe
even one
first
that isn't
had
owned
a
by
super
Saudi
team.
Arabia.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, everyone just loves to shit on teams that are trying to be good, which is kind of silly to me. Like,
well, I like to shit on Saudi Arabia. It's unrelated to the super team bit.
Yeah, sure, and like that's
fine.
totally fine. But like,
I want to be very clear on that.
It's just kind of dumb to just go at the players for it. They're obviously a very, very, very good team.
Especially when most of these people would have signed for Falcons. They talk about their fucking morals, but they would absolutely take the
yeah. If you get I would have signed me the fuck up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the issue with this team is that Nico it will not win a major. Nico is unable to win a major for some reason.
Will Nico go down as like Joe Namath, or he's
don't know what that means.
Football quarterback who has never won a Super Bowl, but is one of the best quarterbacks ever.
Then yes,
yeah, like Ronaldo if he doesn't grab a World Cup, Messi if he didn't win the last one.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. No, I actually said on the podcast the other day, I think when Nico becomes an IGL, he'll win a major.
You did say this, yeah.
By the way, sorry, I absolutely meant Dan Marino, not Joe Namath. The football fans and the American football fans, please don't. Thank you.
But he won't.
I had to
he
change
won't
that. Sorry.
Win a major as a star player. He needs to take the reins, I guess.
Falcons 2028.
He needs to be the one in control of his destiny, in a sense. There is another problem with Falcons. Tessez, as much as we like him, is being forced into a role he's not comfortable with. They are still... It's a meme to say, like, just one more signing, but the truth is they are one more signing away from being the team that they want to be. Until they get their bit or their gym fat, whichever one it is, they will always be that one signing away. They don't have that true, like, yes, Nico's become more passive, but they don't have that. This is a team that was always going to be 4 of the best players in the world and an IGL that can bring it all together.
Also, on the topic of Tessez, it's very public they've been trying to sign Yimfat, like, last season, right? Like, they've probably spoken a bit as well. Like, he knows his days are numbered, right? The same way that Magisk definitely did, maybe even Kixan to a degree in the future, right? Like, basically, everyone who came from that heroic core, they knew that their spot on that team was a ticking time bomb. Do you know what I mean? They were bought to be the core. So, that can't be great for your mentor trying to go in and win stuff. Because I think even if they won the major, he probably knows they're still probably going to get rid of him at some point.
Yeah. So yeah, Falcons could win the major, but they're just not going to. Is the truth of it.
So who is going to win the major?
Well, according to you folks, the answer is FURIA.
What a fucking crazy timeline. Still not.
Fucking I love it. I'm just.
There is chaos involved here, and I am here for it. So FURIA obviously have gone through a little bit of an international transformation. They did this, I believe, before the last major.
April.
It is in April. It was pre-last major, but it was very new in the last major. And since that point, according to you folks, MongolZ has been like the best opper in the world. Yukindar remembered how to play Counter-Strike, and Fallen has just been good on Rifle.
Yukindar, your time in Team Liquid didn't count.
Does not count. Yeah.
MongolZ is the truth, man. As the Brazilians say,
they've won like
the truth.
Their last 7 events or some shit. Not won the last 7 events, but like
the last 4 events they've played. The last 5 events they've played, they've got 4 trophies.
They've won 4 out of 5 events. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yukindar is probably at this point the best he's ever been. Keserato and Yuri the same. Fallen has become a Rifle in-game leader who's incredibly selfless. Takes virtually no good spots on the CT side. He is letting his star shine.
Enabling everyone to play with flashes and utility, by the way. That's important.
Like, really good with flashes.
Totally reinvented himself as like a support player.
Yeah, exceptionally good as flashes. Will happily jump around a corner backwards for someone to trade him on the T side. Still lets himself get an AWP on the CT side. And Furia's double AWP seems to work a lot better than everyone else's off an eye test. I've not looked into stats of that.
I'm sorry, the just on paper, you have one of the best offers of all time who's not opping anymore, and MongolZ, who is just incredible right now.
Yeah.
Like, just off eye test, like, off paper test. Like, obviously that would be really good.
There's just so many things to say about this team, a lot of which we've said already, and a lot of which we're going to continue to say in other content. Wink, wink, hint, hint, and all those other things.
Subscribe to the channel if you want to know about that.
Do that.
I would just add...
Furia... Yeah, go on.
If you think Vitality had sort of the best structure, best system of the year, Furia have taken that and polished it up, tightened the screws.
This is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
They took the system, they put more onus back on the AWP, which I think
word, by the way.
will be a meta... Thanks, mate. I think it will be a meta-defining thing. I really do. Where I think next year... And it will be to Falcons' benefit. We will see people AWP more and more. We will even see Zaiwu AWP more, because MongolZ has proven that even when he comes out of a game 14-14, those 14 kills tend to have such high impact. Every single fucking one of them. And that's... Yes, it's because MongolZ is very good. But it's because the eye test of his play style looks better than the stats do. It's why Elliot thought he has a 1.26 rating past 3 months. It's 1.16.
13? 1.13? 1.16 maybe?
1.16, I think. Which, in HLTV rating, 0.1 is a massive fucking difference. But it's because FURIA enable him to look very good. The system makes him look very good. Fallen is in a better place in their system than Apex is, and they also just have the firepower to bat with every one of their players can go against any one of their opposite numbers on any team in the world. They're just a very fucking good team, and form probably is helping them, of course. It always does with the best teams in the world, but they actually have stopping power as long as Fallen doesn't retire. This is a team that can stick around at the top and keep this a 5-man race for every event for a long time.
Closing question.
Yes.
If they win the major, is that the right time for Fallen to step back? Or do you think you should stick around for another 6 months?
No, you stick around for further.
I want him to, but I just do think that going out on your own terms on a high is glamorous and cool, opposed to doing a Carrigan and jacking stuff across the concrete.
The odd thing is he tried to go out on his own terms, right? That was the
multiple last dances, yeah.
Multiple last dances, the MIBR last dance to a degree, then the Imperial actual last dance, and now he's on FURIA. So, judging by his previous set, he's not going until he's damn well ready to go.
I think there's a healthy middle ground, right?
But he also may learn. He's older than he was every other time, right?
There's a really healthy middle ground, especially in Counter-Strike, where it's not like football, where every 4 years you get a World Cup, and you can look at it and be like, okay, 2026 World Cup, that's it for me. I'm done then.
Yeah.
And if you're part of a competitive nation, your Italy's, the Spain's, Germany's, whoever of the world, you can sit down in the dressing room and say, look, guys, this is it for me. This is my last one. Like, it'd be wicked to go out on a bang, and maybe that motivates everyone. Maybe that inspires everyone. Where they look at you and you're like, okay, you're this guy with 100 caps. You're one of the greatest players in the history of this nation. We're gonna come together and give you the story to go out on. Yeah. Counter-Strike has a tournament every week.
Yeah, well, okay, I agree with you there, but a lot of my thought process here is the next major is the IEM Cologne major, right?
Well, there's also this, right?
That would make Fallen a 3-time Cologne winner.
And when Fallen a 3-time Cologne winner, he could go out trying to win the
Cologne major winner as well.
Like, that's like Cologne plus the major in one thing. That's the closest you're going to get to a World Cup.
And also
by disregarding the fact that the Esports World Cup is a thing. But
I was going to say, do you not like the Esports World Cup?
We also got the Esports Nations Cup coming up as well. But Cologne next year
Get your shilling, brother.
is going to be the best major of all time on paper, I think. I just think the stakes will be so stupidly high.
But because of that, I think that Fallen wants to stick around to try and win the Cologne major.
I'd love it.
The second time.
I'd love it. I would love it so much.
I just my point though was going to be is that I just think going out on a high means a different thing in Counter-Strike.
That's valid. Yeah.
I don't think it means going out lifting a trophy. I think, especially when you consider the last 3 years of Fallen's career have been dog shit. Ride this fucking wave, brother. Like, you're still going to be good in 6 months, so ride it and see how many fucking tournaments you can win in that time. If that's it, then that's it.
Yeah,
but are we right until we're at gas, or till the wheels fall off? Like, where do you draw the line?
I think it's wheels fall off. I think if you're Fallen, you just keep fucking playing, because I think that the other Fallen bit of this all is that, like, Fallen is still considered the guy in Brazil. Like, it doesn't really matter.
And he should be globally. Again, like, we spoke about this before, but I don't think he will ever get enough credit for how important he is for the game.
But I think that the next era of Fallen is, I'm going to go play on shitter Brazilian teams, and I am just going to teach the next generation of Brazil, which is
he's not doing that. There's not a fucking chance he's doing that.
He already has fucking like 15 schools and shit teaching.
He'll maybe coach, but he'll probably do like some admin position, if anything. He won't be on a team. But Jack is right. Like, no one will ever appreciate Fallen's influence on Brazil. Yes, in some ways he might have hurt it. You know, players like Woody thought they could fucking AWP because of Fallen. But there is a player
Take
who
the
was
good
in
with
the
the bad.
semi-final. There is a player who was in the semi-final of the last major whose first monitor was bought for him by Fallen. Like, there's just,
That's Snow, by the way, for those wondering.
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Just the guy is one
He's
of
not,
the
but
most
he's not just Brazil.
influential
He
players
is
ever.
he is up there with You'll Get Rights and people like that as just like Mr. Counter-Strike. And not
He's
not
a
only
Hall of
just
Fame.
performance and results. He's just
He's a meta-defining player as well.
and also just a better defined human. He's just again like
Yeah.
I hate sometimes when we bring in personal anecdotes because I don't think that's fair to the audience. But the way Fallen seems on interviews and on broadcast, he is like that all the time. He is an absolute gem of a man. So all success is deserved, and I hope he gets infinitely more of it until he's started to have enough.
Hey,
Yes.
Fawn, when you retire, come on Overtime
Please
On
come
Inferno.
on. I'll try not to play this too
Please.
hard. That'd be good though. Good episode. We'll have to get
That would be a good
Good
episode.
Diogo on to
All
translate
right.
maybe.
Speaking of, this was a good episode.
This
This
was a
was.
good episode.
Thanks,
And
Logan.
we are done for the episode. I don't know if I'll be back the next couple of weeks, but I will be watching the majors, so you'll at least hear anecdotes from me on Twitter, which is where you can find the rest of us at AN1MO with some numbers in there, at Nova Design with an underscore at the end, no underscore, at
words.
Logan
No, but there is
Ramhap
a
on
H.
Twitter,
Because he's a dickhead.
and at ReadTLDR. All the links are down below in the description. These two will see you next week. It'll be a mystery if you'll see me next week.
Big
Bye,
big
everyone.
big thing. Subscribe because we may have guests throughout the major season as well. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, do that.
If you want to see some cool
Yeah.
faces that aren't us, or as well as us, make sure you subscribe. See you next time.